Shut up and sit down.
Hey everybody, Barry here again. Hey everybody, Barry here again. I'm finally going back at the van. I've been messing with the engine a lot lately, and I need to get this thing operational again. Not necessarily operational, but at least get some heat inside the cab, because it's been 10, 12 degrees lately. Like, it's the end of November now, and I'm not complaining. But the windshield does like fog up and stuff, and I want to go do some tuning, but my HP tuner won't connect. It won't connect to the Cadillac. I had Logan over today trying to connect to his truck, would not connect, so I suspect I have a bad cord. And I doubt a regular cell phone charger cord is going to work. So I got to find something. I don't know. I looked on HP Tuner's site, and it's $10 for the cord and $90 to ship it. So I don't really think I'm going to go that way. But anyway, enough of that. Today, I am going to put some heater core hoses on it. It's going to work. Rodney Porter gave me these, and I got to try to figure out how I'm going to kind of situate them so that I can use much of this as possible down on the hot side down here anyway. So I want to use this 90 here, because that'd be great for going back by the frame. And I think it would also work well going behind the turbo maybe. Maybe this way would work better actually. Go up over the engine, so I'll probably cut them off. I'm not going to be able to use it all because it's all got like really freaky bends. So I'll cut that one off on the straight right there. And I can separate them from these brackets, they don't really matter. Where it comes up. Probably straighten this out a little bit. No, definitely not. So I'll probably cut them off right here. That way I have the 90. I think that'll work well. Let's see what we got. Whether this is going to work or not, I don't know, but it looks like it might. It looks like it. I can sneak it behind the turbo. It'd be good to have these metal pipes here rather than rubber hose. Ooh. I think it'll work. So down here, the pipes come up behind, and they actually tip up straight back there, so I'll cut them off right here. And down and under the turbo, they actually come far enough ahead that they'll turn and connect right into the hoses where I have the bypass there. So this is not going to be nearly as hard as I expected it to be, which doesn't actually happen very often, but sometimes we get away with it. Sweet. So these pipes are going to work perfect. Assuming I don't just cut them in the wrong place and mess them up altogether. But now I just got to grab some rubber hose and join hose from here up to the heater core, and the other side into the block, or the water pump. And not get any of that aluminum inside the engine. Best part about working at a car parts store is just go up on the shelf and get hose. No fooling around, no ordering the wrong stuff, just pull it off the shelf. Always works, always works. And if I get the wrong parts, it's nobody's fault but mine. I'll still blame the parts guys, but that's it. Now, how to route these hoses so they don't get all kinked up. She worked fine actually. I think the hardest part is going to be tightening all the clamps. Because that is a spot. I kind of miss working on the van, I gotta say. I do enjoy very much working on this thing. I seriously cannot wait to get the engine done. The engine for the rat rod. That's a really exciting one for me. Like, I've built a handful of engines, and by built I mean take apart, clean up, paint, reassemble with junkyard parts, and that's about it. But I've never done one with a cam in it or like any new parts or anything. So that's pretty exciting. I always put new gaskets in, new gaskets and head bolts and stuff, but the really cool stuff I haven't done. I did a 5.3 and put flat top pistons in it. That was pretty much it. Like a Gen 3 with 4.8 pistons in it. So that was kind of neat. I enjoyed that. It wasn't anything to be excited over or anything, but it was fun. Now. The tricky part is going to be taking off the heater core bypass hose on the engine without making a massive state. That won't work. I've said this a lot of times, and I even made a sticker that says it, but it ain't pretty, but it'll work. I hope. Okay, that will work there, and that will work there. I'm going to take off the bypass hose now, and I've got a tray put in under the bypass here just on the off chance that I might catch some of the coolant, but I doubt it. I bet it's all going to go all over the floor. Yeah. I gotta get the rear end on for the rat rod too, which is an 8.8. It's a Mustang 8.8 Fox body, and I got 31 spline, 2 short side Explorer axles for it that I have machined down to fit 9-inch ends and bearings to fit those and stuff. And I need to basically, to assemble it, I need to get a full spool for it because I'm not going with C-clips, and buy a set of gears. I've had 411 gears in it and I loved it, so I kind of want to do that again. I think it would be awesome. If I'm putting a high revving engine in it, it'd be really, really cool to have high revving gears. I think so anyway. Come on, man, work for me. kinda. I collected some of the coolant. Some, I mean, not very much, but something. I didn't get it cut all the way off, so it's not just rushing out everywhere. I still got to come up with whether I'm going to be running turbos on this thing or not. And by turbos, I mean like 2, which would be really cool. I'd love to do twins on the right rod. Oh, I'm soaked. I only had water in it, so then I drained off a little bit, and I could only get, I don't know, probably 1/4 of a gallon of coolant in it. So the one good thing about this is there's not actually very much coolant in it. It was kind of enough for me to kind of save it from splitting the block when it got cold here for a few days. And of course one side is bigger than the other is on the water pump. Be nice. It's going on there. It's just taking a lot of time. Ow. That's all sure. Man, I had to put that on time lapse. I just could not get my head around it at all. It would not work. But you can't see it anyway. It's hooked up. It's hooked up down there. And I still got to make up a couple little mounting tabs so that the hoses aren't like flapping around and stuff. But that's working. That's going to work perfect. Now I'm going to replace this upper radiator hose. I have one over here that I took off a scrap engine. And now we can put it on where? Hey, just like that. Yay for scrap trucks. I was trying to get this thing to bleed the coolant, and it can be really, really hard because the radiator and the engine outlet are almost on the same level. So it's really, really tight. Oh yeah, this is going to be wonderful. And It's hard, so I kind of push down on the hose just to displace some of the air. But I snapped it up against the belt and it was squealing. I didn't really catch it first. I thought I wasted some coolant on it or something, but nope. It was the belt burning through the hose. So I'm going to replace that, and I expect that it's not going to be very easy, but I do have a heat gun here if it comes down to it. The upper radiator outlet on the van is much bigger than the truck hose. I didn't expect that. Well, that's not going to do anything either. Okay, well, I've got a huge mess of coolant everywhere. Now it's just to, man, these clamps are always hard to get off. These are just about the perfect length, actually. I'm just going to cut this one here off a little bit. Try not to cut my fingers off. I'm going to try another cord for my HP tuner. I really hope it works. I don't know if a regular cord USB-A to USB-C will work. I got a feeling that it's going to be not the right kind. Where did I burn the hose through anyway? Oh yeah, right here. This is where the belt was up against it and got right into the fibers. Good stuff. This is where it gets fun a bit. So I'll spray a little bit of silicone in there just to try to help it out, slip on a little bit easier. This is awkward. Flat screwdriver time. Hey, this might even work a little bit better than I expected. Geez, it's not bad at all. Now, if I can get it down under here without breaking everything. Woo! It works. Just killing me now that I can't tune this thing. And my laptop doesn't have Bluetooth on it that I can see. It's a fairly old laptop. Just like Windows 7 or something on it. So, my wife does have a new laptop. I'd like to see if hers can do it. But either way, I still can't change the tune. Well, the hose works. That's definitely a win for tonight. When I first realized that it was leaking, I was like, man, I've scrapped a pile of these trucks and I never keep the hoses. I always throw them away because I'm like, I don't need that. And I panicked, but then I realized that I might have one, and it was out in the back of one of the other scrap trucks that I scrapped. So there's still going to be a load of water in here, and the heater core is the highest point. So I wonder if that'll ever actually fill up. This is just straight green coolant, concentrated. And there's a lot of water in the box, so I'm going for 50-50. It definitely takes forever to fill. Like right now, it's full. Just start it up. See if the water pump will cycle some. See if I can get that hose a little bit lower. gas. Now, you're probably not going to see very much, but God, I love the sound of this thing. What I can do with the tune anyway. And get that sorted out. Well, we got some heat. Man, you guys can't see a thing, can you? Got some heat. I've run out of gas, so time to go back in, I guess. I imagine if I stopped flooring it all the time, I'd probably still have gas. But why would I do that? Well, got it out for a drive. It seemed to run great, except for the times when I was running out of gas. That wasn't so great. But it sucked back the coolant. We had heat at the end of it. Hoses are hot. That's a good sign. I like that. And I've just been topping up this. My camera decided not to camera. So while I was waiting for it to do what it wanted to do, it's hot. I filled up the coolant hoses. Mission accomplished. Definitely good with this. The exhaust sounds really good. I love the sound of it. I love it. It sounds so cool. And now, the next thing I have to do, I'm really going to force myself to do, is the fuel tank, because I cannot be putting gas in the tank that's inside the van right now, and the tank is like 3 feet by 3 feet and it's 6 inches deep, so the gas is going everywhere, it's sloshing around. It's not helping me tune whatsoever, and I need to get that figured out. I do have a fuel cell. It's a 10-gallon fuel cell Jonathan Wiseman brought out to me. It's back there. So I'm going to install that under the van where the fuel tank itself used to go. And the reason I can't use the factory fuel tank is because the drive shaft is in the way now. And I still got a bunch of sheet metal work to do on the van. I got to put the, sort of like a drive shaft tunnel kind of thing, put that in where the stow and go is. I've just got it cut out and it's covered over with the factory floor right now. But I've got a bunch of work left to do on this over the winter. I think I'm going to try to alternate back and forth between the engine build and the van, but sometimes I might have to have a couple of van ones in a row, a couple of engine build videos in a row. We'll just work back and forth and do what we can. So I'm going to finish up here tonight on a high note and go home and dig around and try to find a cord that's going to work with the HP tuner. And so I want to thank everybody again for coming out and checking out the videos, and thanks for subscribing. I just passed 3,900 today, so almost less than 100 to go for 4,000. That is so cool. I remember when I first started this van, I had 344 subscribers. So we're 10 times that now, which is wild. And thanks to my patrons. If you want to help support the channel a little bit at a time, you can check out my Patreon. It is patreon.com/stationroadratrods. And thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody.